Few names echo through history with the chilling resonance of Ivan IV, Tsar of all the Russias. Born in 1530, Ivan ascended to the throne at the tender age of 3, following the death of his father, Vasily III. His early years were marked by a tumultuous regency, filled with intrigue and power struggles that would shape his future reign. Known as Ivan the Terrible, his moniker reflects the brutal legacy of his 37-year reign. His rule was characterized by a relentless pursuit of power and control, often through violent and ruthless means. Ivan's reign saw the expansion of the Russian Empire, but it came at a great cost. Ivan's rule was a tempestuous cocktail of reform and terror, expansion and devastation, leaving an indelible mark on Russia's destiny. He implemented significant reforms, including the creation of a centralized government and a standing army, which helped to solidify his power. However, his reign was also marked by widespread fear and oppression. He was a complex figure, a visionary leader capable of extraordinary cruelty. Ivan's Oprichnina, a state policy that involved mass repressions, public executions, and confiscation of land from the nobility, is a testament to his ruthless methods. His paranoia and violent outbursts led to the deaths of thousands, including his own son. This is the story of Ivan the Terrible, a ruler who personified the very essence of autocratic power. His legacy is a haunting reminder of the fine line between visionary leadership and tyrannical rule, a legacy that continues to echo through the annals of history. Born in 1530, Ivan Vasilievich inherited a realm fraught with danger. His father, Vasily III, Grand Prince of Moscow, died when Ivan was just 3 years old. His mother, Elena Glinskaya, ruled as regent, but she too perished under suspicious circumstances 5 years later. Ivan's childhood was a brutal apprenticeship in the treacherous world of Russian politics. He witnessed power struggles, betrayals, and executions, shaping his worldview and planting the seeds of paranoia. At the age of 16, Ivan broke with tradition and crowned himself Tsar, a title that underscored his absolute authority. His early reign held promise. He introduced reforms, strengthening the central government, codifying laws, and establishing a standing army called the Streltsy. He also sought to expand Russia's borders, conquering the Khanates of Kazan and Astrakhan, securing Russia's eastern frontiers and opening new trade routes to the south. In 1560, tragedy struck when Ivan's beloved wife, Anastasia Romanovna, died. Ivan, consumed by grief and convinced she had been poisoned, descended into paranoia. He suspected the boyars, Russia's powerful noble families, of orchestrating her death and plotting against him. This suspicion, whether justified or not, marked a turning point in his reign. The once promising reformer began his transformation into the tyrant history remembers as Ivan the Terrible. Section 5. Unleashing the Oprichnina, Reign of Terror. In 1565, Ivan the Terrible, the first Tsar of Russia, unleashed a reign of terror upon his own people. This period marked one of the darkest chapters in Russian history. He divided the country into two distinct parts: the Oprichnina, which was under his direct and absolute control, and the Zemshchina, which continued to be ruled by the boyars, the noble class. This division was not just administrative, but also a strategic move to consolidate his power. The Oprichnina, Ivan's personal army of loyalists, were granted absolute power and unleashed a wave of violence and terror across the land. These soldiers, known as the Oprichniki, dressed in black and rode black horses, symbolizing death and destruction. They were notorious for their brutality and were feared by all. Boyar families were often accused of treason without any substantial evidence. Their lands were confiscated, their wealth seized, and thousands were executed in the most gruesome manners. The Oprichniki's actions were not just about punishment, but also about instilling fear and ensuring absolute loyalty to Ivan. The Oprichnina became a symbol of Ivan's growing paranoia and cruelty. His distrust of the boyars and his fear of conspiracies led to a reign of terror that left a deep scar on Russia's psyche. The psychological impact of this period was profound. with the memory of the Oprichnina's terror lingering for generations. Ivan's actions during this time not only reshaped the political landscape of Russia, but also left an indelible mark on its cultural and social fabric. Section 6. Expansion and Conflict, the Livonian War. While terror reigned at home, Ivan pursued an ambitious foreign policy. He launched the Livonian War from 1558 to 1582 to secure access to the Baltic Sea, a crucial trade route. The war, a protracted and costly affair, pitted Russia against Sweden, Poland, Lithuania, and Denmark-Norway. Despite some early victories, the war ultimately drained Russia's resources and ended in defeat. The conflict highlighted both Ivan's military ambitions and the limitations of his reign. Section 7. A Tsar's Descent, Madness and Brutality. As the Livonian War dragged on, Ivan's behavior became increasingly erratic and violent. In a fit of rage, he struck and killed his own son and heir, Ivan Ivanovich. This act of unspeakable cruelty shocked the Russian court and further cemented his image as a tyrant. Ivan's later years were marked by paranoia, instability, and acts of extreme violence. He became a prisoner of his own fears, suspicious of everyone and everything. Section 8. Legacy of a Tyrant, Progress and Paranoia. Ivan the Terrible died in 1584, leaving behind a legacy as complex as the man himself. He had transformed Russia into a powerful, centralized state, but at a terrible cost. His reign was marked by both impressive achievements and unspeakable atrocities. He expanded Russia's borders, reformed its administration, and promoted cultural development. Yet his reign of terror left an indelible stain on his legacy. Section 9. Ivan the Terrible Monster or Nation Builder. Historians continue to debate Ivan IV's legacy. Was he a visionary leader who forged a powerful Russia, or a bloodthirsty tyrant who terrorized his own people? The truth, as is often the case with historical figures, lies somewhere in between. Ivan was a product of his time, a ruler who embodied both the brilliance and barbarity of his age. He was a complex and contradictory figure, capable of great vision and terrible cruelty. Section 10. The enduring enigma of Ivan IV. Ivan the Terrible remains an enigma, a figure shrouded in mystery and controversy. His name evokes images of both grandeur and terror, a ruler whose actions have been debated for centuries. His reign serves as a cautionary tale of the intoxicating nature of power and the corrupting influence of fear. Ivan IV ascended to the throne at a young age, and his early years were marked by significant reforms that aimed to centralize and strengthen the Russian state. He was a man of contradictions, a reformer who became a tyrant, a visionary leader who unleashed unimaginable horrors. His establishment of the Oprichnina, a state policy that divided the country and led to widespread terror, is one of the most infamous aspects of his rule. His story is a stark reminder that even the most powerful rulers are ultimately human, subject to the same flaws and frailties as those they govern. Despite his brutal methods, Ivan IV also had moments of vulnerability and deep personal loss, which shaped his complex character. Ivan the Terrible's legacy is a tapestry woven from threads of both progress and paranoia, a testament to the enduring power of his story. His reign left an indelible mark on Russian history, influencing the nation's trajectory for generations to come. The duality of his nature, both a progressive ruler and a ruthless autocrat, continues to fascinate historians and scholars, making Ivan IV a subject of endless study and debate. As we reflect on his life and legacy, we are reminded of the delicate balance between power and responsibility, and the ways in which history can be shaped by the actions of a single individual. Ivan the Terrible's story is not just a chapter in Russian history, but a universal lesson on the complexities of leadership and the human condition.